The future of work is now. In my industry, which is the finance industry, and a couple of other industries, we've seen a lot of disruptions with the advent of AI. Now, this AI tool is not here to take our work away, but is here to actually enhance our work. A lot of people feel otherwise. We'll talk more about this as we go further. I'll tell you a story. I know someone who started with typewriters as a secretary. In fact, let me shock you, we still have a lot of industries today that still use typewriters. Surprising, right? But we've moved from typewriters to computers. We started using Microsoft Word for documentation, for taking notes and all. And now with the use of AI, even in meetings, a lot of people take notes with AI. I know of people who send emails using AI. How is it in your industry? How is it for you as a professional? Today, we're going to be talking about AI literacy and human AI collaboration. We're going to be taking a deep dive into how AI can help to enhance our productivity in the workplace, how AI can actually help us to be a better professional. Now, this is 2026. You don't want to repeat the same thing you've been doing in 2025. You need to take a step forward and implement those new things, those new ideas that you have at heart. You need to ensure that you take the right step to put them into action this year. I have a guest in the house today who is going to be talking about AI literacy and human AI collaboration. Now, this person, he's going to introduce himself, but I need to say some things about him. He's a very close person and he has over 20 years of experience. Now, he is the Chief Talent Officer of YF Talent Partners, and he's not just going to talk about AI and all, but he's also going to talk about performance management, even in the workplace when we talk about AI. And I'm sure this is really going to help you, especially if you are at the stage of your career where you are seeking promotion or you are seeking to move to the next level. I welcome you once again to Finance Series with Oyekemi Ajayi. This is going to be exciting. Make sure that you stay tuned till the very end of this podcast. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
We have been waiting and looking forward to this moment. I'd like you to start by introducing yourself.
Okay, my name is Yemi Fashio, and I am the Chief Talent Officer at YF Talent Partners. About 34 years now of work experience, HR, leadership, culture. I say that I'm a Gen Z who came ahead of my time. And the reason I say that is because I work in about 13 organizations before I started running a consulting business about 4 years ago. So yeah, it's been sales, marketing, and then HR where I found love. Spent about 25, 26 years in HR before I rolled off 8 to 5 about 4 years ago, and we started a consulting practice at YF Talent Partners, and it's been fun. That's me in a nutshell. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Right.
All right, so we'll go straight into the meeting for this podcast.
Right.
And one of the things that I've observed as a consultant is that a lot of people are very much aware of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And a couple of other AI tools.
Right.
But then again, we've seen that there are so many tools out there that if you are not careful, can actually take you out and make you irrelevant. Secondly, for even those that are into photography, artwork, and the rest, you can actually use AI to actually create a semi or a smaller image of yourself or an identical image of yourself, right? So we've seen a lot with the use of AI. So I'd like you to talk about this from your experience. Do you think AI is actually going to take the place of, some people in their place of work? Or you feel that it's actually going to enhance and improve operations?
Okay, so the short answer to that, Kemi, is to say that yes, AI will take some people's jobs. And that's not what people want to hear. Yeah. People always say that no, AI is not going to take it will. Tech has already taken the typewriter's job because we moved from the typewriter to the word processor. So imagine somebody who did not upskill at the time we made that transition from using typewriters to word processors. that individual will have become a dinosaur by now. So let's not oversimplify the fact that AI will not take some people's job. It will, but it will only take your job if you fail to understand how AI can enable you to do better on your job. So whilst AI is a tool and an enabler, it also means that the rate at which tech is moving, if human beings are not moving in terms of upskilling and reskilling to meet that rate of change, then we're going to have many people who are going to be left behind. So will AI take some people's jobs? Yes, let's be loud about it. But it will only take your job because you are not moving with the times in terms of how you can use AI to better your job. So things that are repetitive, things that are routine, things that are highly based on data analytics, rather than me spending 3 days or 1 week to analyze that data, and there's a tool that can do the same thing in 30 seconds, and you think AI will not take my job, AI will. So the point we're making, therefore, is see it as a tool, as an enabler that will make you do your job better. But if you don't, then we are going to be looking out there for people who can use that tool to do the job better. And what happens to my job? It's gone.
So what I get from this is we understanding how AI works,
Yes,
and how we can co-create with AI,
correct.
basically.
So it will not replace human intelligence.
Right.
I accept. We need to understand what AI is and what AI is not. We need to understand the task-specific orientation around AI, and then the broad spectrum of what AI can do across different sectors and across different industries, right? That understanding, therefore, helps us to do what you just talked about, which is co-creation. So it is what I can do. It is what AI can enable me to do better, faster, more efficiently. So if you bring human intelligence, my experience, my skills, my qualifications, my everything, and bring it to what technology can do, AI, we bring it together, we can co-create magic. That's what we can. But if we rely only on one or the other, there is a danger here. So there is a danger in not recognizing what AI can do and relying only on that human intelligence. And then there is a danger of relying solely on artificial intelligence, taking out critical thinking, human intelligence. There's a danger to both sides. So what we're saying is that it's a fusion of both human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much for that. So I think my next question will be on how organizations can ensure that their staff or team members within a project actually upskill, reskill if needed, to be able to meet up with this new trend that we see. So what do you think organizations can do? Because trust me, change is actually one of the things that is very difficult. I remember there was a time I was trying to implement change in a particular system, and it was very difficult for people to accept change. So what would you say in that regard?
Clearly, any organization that doesn't know by now that there has to be huge investment in the space of AI, that organization is heading for the past, if you know what I mean. The relevance in the now of work, or what people say the future of work, will be so minimal if you don't recognize the investment that we need to make.
Right.
However, we need to also quickly say that we shouldn't make those investments because other organizations are making the investment. A thorough understanding of what we need to do per organization is extremely important. So let's not do copy and paste. Let's understand our own specifics, our own dynamics, our own market, and therefore our tools and the technology that we need to invest in so that we can make work easier for ourselves, and then it becomes a critical competitive advantage for the organization. So that investment, I don't even think it's a conversation to have anymore whether we should invest in AI or not. It's come to stay. It's transforming different sectors. I mean, I'll just give you an example. I watch adverts on TV these days, and maybe on social media platforms, and we are moving away from human beings to AI agents. You know what I'm saying? So if there is a model, for instance, whose main source of income is to do adverts for companies, and companies are moving away, what's happening to that model? He or she has lost his other job. Coming back to your first question. And then let's go back to the side of the organization. If also we don't employ those tools to make us, I mean, there are three things that I always see where organizations must have competitive advantage. One, make more money. Two, reduce cost. And three, increase your operational efficiency. Right? So in those three areas, what can help you to do better than what just human brain or human intelligence can do will be AI tools. The organizations employing not human beings anymore, but AI agents to do stuff. In your industry, consulting, I think I read recently about an organization employing AI agents for entry-level roles in one of the big four. Actually, entry-level roles are no longer handled by human beings. They're handled by AI agents. So that's for consulting. For FMCG to be different. For the marketing and advertising agency will be different.
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas will be different. So every industry will need to understand what tools will aid those three areas.
Yeah.
Revenue, cost management, and operational efficiency, and therefore how we must carry the workforce along. That investment needs to be made in both tools and also in development of people to be able to use and appreciate those tools. But it's not, it can't be because X is doing it and then we want to do it. It may just be an investment that will be wasted over a period of time.
Can I take you up on something? You mentioned hiring the employees along. So that takes me down to communication, because communication in the workplace is very important.
Right.
So how do you think you can carry the organization along or the team members along when there is a change, right? Because now you give an example of a business model that needs to be either modified,
Right.
or changed completely.
Right.
So how do we make sure that the team is carried along and they are all, in sync with this new model or arrangements?
So we have to see the transformation happening as a culture that we must imbibe. It is not a one-off tick of the box experience. It is a total culture of transformation. And when you're going through change and transformation, trust is important. Carrying everybody along is important. We don't just want to come to work one day and we see that another tool has been introduced and it's disrupting the activities and daily operations just because we've made an investment in a particular tool. So ab initio, from the point of change management and transformation, we must carry the workforce along. The reason we are doing this, the outcomes expected, the impact on people, there will always be change resistance within the workforce, and we need to let people know what's in it for them. Ultimately, the resistance to change reduces when people realize that at the end of the day, I'm the better for it. So that is a total conversation from a people or change management perspective. Don't just do change for the sake of change and focus on high level investment of tech, on tools and all of that, and leave your people behind. At the end of the day, who's going to use the tools? Human beings. So carry them along is not at the end of the change or transformation, it's right from the start of it. And we need to cascade this around the different leadership level, org level, departmental level, division, and unit level. We need to carry these different leaders along so that those leaders can carry their people along. Otherwise, we may spend a whole lot of time and energy, and then the change may not happen.
Thank you very much. You said something that I really like, and that is about culture.
Right.
So for the mid-sized or the one-man business, right, just to get your perspective on this, what would they really need to do in this area? Because we need to bring this home.
Sure.
So yes, we've mentioned a culture change. There's some investments that has to also take place.
Right.
My question now would be, how would a mid-sized business manage this change? We've spoken about the employee perspective now, but now bringing in, because this is going to shift their culture, especially if you have businesses that were built by,
Ancestors.
exactly, and all that. And that has been the tradition over time. So to now change their mindset, a lot really needs to, be done.
Right.
So what do you have to say for businesses in that space?
I mean, okay, so this is not me trying to look for business for consultant, but that's the reality. If the if the capabilities are not available in house, we have change management consultants, transformation agents all over the place that can help the
And so
organization.
they can outsource it.
Absolutely, that can be outsourced because again, we are focusing on business. We are focusing on we need to make profit, we need to make revenue and all that. And you are saying that we need to do all of this again. This is going to take our attention away from our core. But the point is just outsource that part of the transformation or the change to the individuals whose everyday life is to support you to do that. So most times for medium sized organizations, you may not find the competencies within, but there are opportunities and help without. So look for consultants that can help you do that. Of course, the right consultant, due diligence, tick the boxes, make sure that culture, even the culture must be aligned. You know what I mean? The values of the consultant with the values of the organization. You don't want to bring in consultants that will throw you like 10 years backwards because of ethical issues around technology or AI as well. So there has to be a lot of things to consider before you make that decision. However, it's not impossible that the skills and the competencies may be available in-house. If they are, by all means, roll it out. But the point is also remember that it's not just about the change from a tech perspective, it's also change from a people perspective. So do we have the capabilities to manage both? If not, then options are without.
So there's a mindset thing. Yeah.
It's a total whole 9 years. It's not just one part of. You need to have a holistic view of it from start to finish. Otherwise, what I have seen in some of my experiences would be that the project will last 9 months, but because we are grappling with so many things, I'm sure you will know it's 3 years and we're still counting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So it's been very interesting so far. Um, one more thing I would like to talk about is performance management.
Okay.
So yes, AI is supposed to enhance my productivity. For example, I'm typing an email now. I can ask co-pilots to, review it for me and make sure it's okay. Co-pilots can also help me to set up meetings and all that, which is very good. But now when we come to performance management, from an HR perspective, and also with the integration of AI in the place of work,
Right.
what would be your recommendation for young professionals? How can they position themselves well for growth?
So this is where I want to sound a note of warning, and this may be two-pronged. Number one is please do not wait for your organization to upskill you or reskill you as tech is transforming businesses. Because when we say transforming businesses, I mean, that's at the macro level. At the micro level, what we're saying is that it is transforming roles and responsibilities as well. Um, I met somebody recently who, in the role that she's working as the executive assistant to three partners, three co-managing directors of an organization. Before now, that would have been one EA to one partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because of what technology is allowing us to do with the advent of AI, we don't need three people to three partners. So what happened to the two other individuals that may have been EAs to the partners? Those jobs have gone, right? But the individual who has therefore elevated her game to the point where she could service three partners at the same time as an EA has the job at the moment. So don't wait for any organization to say that you should be trained or we will send you to Harvard or INSEAD or LBS or anywhere. We've got to be in law with personal development. In this transformational age of AI, please take personal development as your number one core responsibility. That's one. Number two is please do not outsource everything to AI. The element of critical thinking from the human intelligence perspective is still there. So we read some CVs these days, and by the time you go through the CV, you realize that it was a copy and paste from an AI platform. You know what I mean? Copilot. And the CV will end with, do you want me to put this in a particular format? Straight away, you know that it wasn't edited. It was just outsourcing our brains, so to say, to AI. So we need to be careful that we are co-creating. We need to be careful that it is indeed AI human collaboration. You know, before we started, we are talking about the calculator. At some point, there was a calculator. How did we calculate? We're using our brains, right? So after a while, if you see some individuals, they'll still do 20 plus 20. They'll do it on Excel or they'll do it on the calculator. We've totally outsourced everything to AI. I think that's where the danger is, right? It is AI helping us with data, with research, and then the human intelligence to make decisions, to make critical judgments about what AI presents to us will not go away. We must not let it go away. So you want to write a memo, it can be AI. AI can give you a template or a format, but you got to contextualize it. You got to fine tune it based on your experience, your knowledge, your skills, and all that. Or what you want to do at that time. Yeah. And the memo it gives you today, or the format, may be different for what it's going to give you tomorrow. So you need to contextualize it. So those are the two things that I think the workforce, individuals should be aware of. Number one is don't wait for your organization to upskill or reskill you. And number two, please don't outsource 100% to AI. It is collaboration. It is co-creation. If there is any time that design thinking is making sense, it is now. And that design thinking is a co-creation between machines and a human being.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And I think one key learning for me that I'd like people to take away is the fact that there has to be an integration between artificial intelligence, critical thinking as well. And even there has to be a mindset shift as well. So when we talk about upskilling, upskilling is not just to say, okay, I've learned a new skill in my industry.
Right.
Your ability to learn and apply those new things is what is very, very important.
Absolutely.
All right.
So before we go, can I quickly say that what AI and human beings bring to the table are complementary strengths. So AI will crunch the data, it will give you speed, it will give you scale, it will recognize certain patterns and all that, but it won't show empathy. AI will not show empathy. It will not bring that creativity. It kind of regurgitates data from different sources and put it together for you. But who needs to make that contextual judgment? It is
you.
Who needs to show empathy in that communication? AI will not show communication in writing an email. You know what I mean? It just give it out straight to you. But who needs to show empathy? Who needs to show, let me use street language, common sense, right? It's human beings. So it's complementary. The skill, the data, the pattern recognition, plus empathy. I listened to a clip from a lady, I can't remember her name now. She said one thing we know that AI will never have is the human soul. So bring the human soul to that collaboration when you're using AI as a tool in job responsibility.
Yeah. And thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I think one last thing I want you to touch on is the fact that AI itself, like for copilots, you see where there's a disclaimer.
Correct.
Right.
That's there may be some mistake.
Yeah. So I want you to just touch on that.
Right. So that is AI trying to be ethical. Try to be ethical and try to warn you in advance that don't take everything I say verbatim or 100%. So bring your judgment to the table. So it just validates the conversation we've been having that please do not outsource 100% to AI. It is sourcing data from multiple sources and giving you opportunities to have data at your fingertips so that you can use it for decision making. AI isn't making the decisions for you. It is giving you opportunity to see data, statistics, and therefore it's saying to you, the judgment is serious.
Thank you very much. I think I like that very much. One last thing I would also say is there's something we say, or that I say, your career is in your hands. It's your responsibility. So upskilling is your responsibility. Applying that critical judgment to whatever you get from AI is your responsibility. This is not what you can outsource. So ensure that you take the various points that have been mentioned here and apply it. This is 2026. If you send a CV to any organization, we don't want to see on your CV that prompt. There's a prompt from AI that we can, put this in PowerPoint or in any other type of presentation mode. No, you have to make sure that you take that responsibility to review your work and make sure that your work is free from errors. I hope this has been very impactful. I hope you've learned a lot on human AI collaboration. Thank you so much for your time, Yemi. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for coming. We really, really appreciate it. And we're going to bring you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.